Okay, so you want to learn how to make this dither effect. It is actually super easy to create. So let's go ahead and hop into Photoshop and just show you how it's done. Don't forget about the everything pack, guys. The first link in the description where you get all of my 33 plus premium products to help you design like a professional. Plus all of my future design assets emailed directly to you 100% free. You should have it by now. Okay, so this is, of course, is the effect that we are going to do for you guys today. Now, the only thing that I would suggest for you guys to download in the description down below will be this specific pattern that I will be using, okay? And what this pattern actually does, it is essentially a checkerboard of like different values of black to white. And with something like this, when you put something like a hard mix on a photo with this pattern, Photoshop will be basically taking the highlights and shadows within your photo and hard mixing them into these very harsh specific pixels. Am I explaining this right? Similar to like a gradient, right? But instead of colors controlling the shadows and the highlights, it's essentially these different gradients of blacks and whites, okay? So go download it. Don't skip that first link though. The everything pack, just saying. Look at this texture. These textures are coming real soon. Look at this. Oh my God. Yep, it is so nice. But that's not what we're here for. Okay, so first things first, of course, you're gonna have your own photo. I already have my photo nice and cut out. And within this photo, the exact same filter stack, we'll call it a filter chain, excuse me, will be what you need to do. Everything else you can kind of experiment and do on your own. But the first thing you're gonna end up doing is we're gonna go to filter, pixelate, and then mosaic. And now within this mosaic filter, the amount of cell size squares that you end up choosing, of course, can be fixed and messed around with and adjusted later on. But I'm just gonna start off with like a nice, like those 16 squares, okay? Press OK. And then after this mosaic, we're gonna go into where it says image adjustments and then choose a levels. Now, this specific thing here is not gonna do much for us right now, but when we're actually done with the effect, it'll do something good. You can move it to the left and right. It's not gonna really change much besides the actual levels. For now, press OK. Okay, and now to actually set this effect off and immediately actually get a really cool dither effect, we're gonna double click on our layer, of course, and we are gonna go down to where it says pattern overlay. And within this pattern overlay, please again, select that hatch pattern that we actually created down below. And of course, once you guys click apply and all that good stuff, nothing's gonna change until you change the blend mode from normal to hard mix. And there you go, okay? This is essentially a dither effect using the actual hard mix hatch pattern. So if you do scroll this down to the left, you get more of a dither. If you do this more to the right, you'll get more of a looser, like pixelated dither. But this is essentially the dither effect in its entirety. So if you go, this is, another effect if you want. But you can totally throw a gradient map on this as you wish and also create some really cool gradient effects. However, it's not as customizable as what I'm about to show you. So what is actually next is when you, of course, apply that pattern overlay, double click back into your layer style, unless you're still in there. Do this as well. So under blending options, make sure you click blend interior effects as group. If you don't do that, you're not gonna find the same effect as what we're about to do in the next few seconds. But if I were to scroll into here, essentially what all these are here, of course, where it's essentially black is transparent, technically. So when we actually go ahead and apply some of those effects, what's gonna essentially happen is you'll see like, this will be like a drop shadow, or you'll see an outer glow within each of these individual pixels. So without that, it's not gonna work, okay? So please be sure to do that. However, before you guys exit out of this panel, be sure to take your blend if current layer, your left shadow adjustment, and move this to the inside. Basically anything over like, I don't know, like 4, it doesn't really matter, I think. As long as it's over 1. Don't move this highlight, just this left shadow one, and that'll make sure, again, like if I actually show you like this, I'm gonna make this color not black. You are now seeing that all the black pixels are, like I said before, transparent, right? So if I were to move this back to the left, you're gonna get black. If I move it at least above 1, you're instantly gonna take away all the black. So that's what's gonna make sure it's transparent, okay? Okay, so the next part of this is we are gonna press Control J on our layer to make sure that we, of course, have the layer inside a group so we can add a new filter chain or a different layer style to affect this now singular image. So I'm gonna double click on this, and without boring you guys and going through each and every single thing and me missing something, I already have, of course, a styles. So this is, of course, a layer style specifically for this effect. I will also put in the description down below for you guys to get. If I forget, let me know, okay? But I shouldn't, but I might, just saying. But I have a few of these effects. So you can see if I move this away for a second, I have a few of these, and I think the one that I would like to use will be this one right here. I think it's a good setting. Now, of course, you see how like some of these look really, really weird? It's because of my mosaic, okay? Or even my level. So we can go back to that in a second. But for now, I wanna set you guys up with this specific filter chain or layer style chain. So the first thing is the bevel and emboss. So your style is on outer bevel, smooth, your depth is at 105, direction on up, size at 85, angle at 120, altitude 32, normal highlight, multiply on shadow, and basically choosing your tone of color, right? So I chose red for the highlight mode, and then for the shadow color here, I chose like a nice little offset, like reddish white, okay? Now the reason why it's important, by the way, to watch this setup is because of course you're gonna actually end up learning how to control it as well. So next thing you have to do is do the texture. With this texture, you're essentially just taking the same exact pattern that you of course downloaded before and used for the actual pattern overlay on the original photo. And this will just essentially allow the bevel and end emboss to kind of follow that same look and feel, so it's not gonna look too awkward, okay? So this of course is controlling a nice little highlight color, and you'll see in a little bit. Next is the inner shadow. So this is basically on a normal blend mode and with like a nice, you know, mustardy kind of color. Again, all these tones can change on your own. You can choose to copy mine if you want. But for the angle, I'm at 120. Distance 1 and then 0, 0. And then of course, everything else is normal. Inner glow will be next. So this is on screen, 35% opacity, a simple white. Technicals on softer, we're on edge, 0 choke, and 7 size. And then color overlay, we're gonna start to see actually some color come in. This is basically gonna be on a 100% opacity, normal blend mode, and choosing your color of your choice. Now the outer glow will be the secondary, really main thing that also controls color, which will give it that nice cool glow. And that is on linear dodge add, 45% opacity, and of course choose the color of your choice. 0 spread, basically 80 size, and the contour that I have for this looks something like this. So you can take this graph yourself and kind of remake it. All you gotta do is basically select and then move, you know, these anchors to where it makes more sense for you. And then now to start bringing in a little bit different, like an RGB split look, is where these drop shadows come in, okay? Blend mode is on normal, red, 120 angle, and you can choose, of course, to use use global light if you like. I currently have it on for the first two, and the last one I have it off so I can just change the angle a little bit. 12 distance, 0 spread, 7 size. And then for the second one here, similar spread, similar size, similar everything. I basically essentially wanted to duplicate it so I can add a little bit more glow, right? And essentially just add and double up on it. And because of this outer glow here, it's basically accentuating a lot of what we're doing here and just bringing it out a lot more. And then finally, last is the drop shadow that I have for purple. Again, I turned off use global light. I even changed the distance a little bit. The size is at 7. And of course, I gave myself a nice color in there. And if you just see me move this up and down for a second, you know, it's slow. It just changes a little bit of the undertone. Even the purple looks pretty good here too. Press OK, right? And I just have it on like a nice 83 angle. You can go any angle with this essentially. It's just a nice little RGB look to it. Now, you guys are pretty much done, okay? You can leave the video if you want. Or you can learn how to use it real quick. So really, there's not too much that's gonna be difficult. However, again, this red is controlling a lot of the highlights that you'll see almost like midtones. So if you look right here on your screen or on my screen, you'll see like right here in these areas, right here in these areas, and right here in these areas is what's actually gonna change if I change this color to, let's say, a nice blue, right? So in those areas, it's gonna look really weird. So again, you have to have some sort of color balance. If it's starting to look washed out, it's because of course you have to make sure it's a darker tone. Either a darker tone or a darker color. Darker tone, meaning get down here. Darker color, meaning, you know, your purples and reds and such are more darker tone, more harsher colors, right? We're gonna press cancel for now. Again, your outer glow is also pretty important. If you change this color around, you're gonna see a nice big hue shift. So again, use this as like your main two things. The color overlay, your outer glow, and your bevel and end emboss are all pretty much the most important color changing moments. Color overlay, again, is more like an undertone, right? There's still some tones of this color here. If I move this up, you can see it does change. But again, that yellow looks pretty cool. Anyway, that's more or less the 3 things that you want to change most likely is the bevel and end emboss color scheme, the color overlay, and then the outer glow. The other thing I want to show you guys is what I was referring to with the levels and the mosaic. Now, with the levels, if I move this now, you'll start to see that it gets rid of some of these colors, and I can get some really cool analog looking designs here that just also I mean, did you go like, oh, that was sick? If you did, you're welcome, okay? So this is kind of sick, no? So of course you move up, oh my God, move up. Oh, that's pretty neat. I didn't even mean to do that. You move these 2 nodes quicker or closer together, gives it a different effect. Pretty interesting. That's really interesting. What happens if I move this one over this one? Oh, interesting. If you move that highlight one over to the left as well, like the highlight node, you move that all the way to the left here, the anchor, and then you move your midpoint here close to the white one, you get a really cool effect here too, which is definitely different than doing something like this. Interesting. So there you go. I just learned something too. But that's the magic of it, right? So of course that's your levels and that's how you control that. And then the last thing of course is your mosaic. So of course, if I put this up more, you'll get more mosaic looks and it might get more blurrier. You know, granted that's in a mosaic. If you get down here, you get more like a quality, almost like, you know, it's almost like the higher your cell, the more draft it looks, and the lower the cell, the more like pristine high quality it might look. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video here today, and hopefully just you learn how to do some cool dither. It's super simple. I wasn't lying. And of course, I'm not lying about the everything pack either. It's gonna be freaking sick. I got some pretty cool stuff, okay? And not to mention this pretty plugin. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Wait for it. Which one do you want? This one? Instantly drop it in. I mean, I'm excited about this. Of course, not all the packs are loaded into my demo yet, but it is coming very soon. So again, first I'm gonna shoot down below the everything pack, all of my personal products, plus all of my future ones for free. It's kind of a steal because I'm just a fan of value. But anyway, Seso HQ out. So don't forget to keep smiling, stay positive, and stay freaking productive, guys. Later, much love, peace. If you valued this video, smash the like button. I never said that in my life. Smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Later.